Bismillah walhamdulillah wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah wa salatu wa salamu ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa asairin nabiyyina wal mursaleen. One of the things that Isa alayhi salam describes himself with in Surah Maryam chapter 19 ayah number 31 is وَجَعَلَنِي مُبَارَكًا أَيْنَمَا كُنْتَ. He, Allah, God, had made me blessed wherever I may be. Meaning that in whatever time, in whatever place, in whatever company Isa may find himself in, he is a constant source of blessing. Through his teachings, through his counsel and advice, through his character, through his actions. The fact that he is in that place at that time around those people means that he is blessing them. And that is a ni'mah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a blessing from Allah, because a person gets rewarded because he or she are a source of blessing. And Isa was such a person, and all the prophets of Allah are like that. But is this reserved for the prophets of Allah alone? Listen to what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says. مَثَلُ الْمُؤْمِنِ مَثَلُ النَّحْلَةِ إن أكلت طيبة وإن وضعت طيبة وإن وقعت على عود نخير لم تكسره. The believer, the person who has iman, is like the bee. When it eats and consumes, it eats and consumes what is wholesome and good. And when it produces what is wholesome and good. And when it lands on a stem, even if that stem is weak, it doesn't break it. So here in that hadith, the believer is like the bee in the sense that the believer, male or female, they withhold their harm and evil from their surroundings and their context, so they don't harm anything or anyone around them. And when they produce, they give out something, they give out the sweetest thing, like the honey that the bee produces, so is the mu'min producing the sweetest thing to the things and people around him. In another similar hadith, the Prophet ﷺ says, مَثَلُ الْمُؤْمِنِ مَثَلُ النَّخْلَةِ مَا أَخَذْتَ مِنْهَا مِنْ شَيْءٍ نَفَعَكَ. The believer, the one who has iman, is like the date tree. Whatever you take from it benefits you. So that tree, according to that hadith, whatever you take from that tree is a source of blessing. And so is the believer, the one who has iman. In whatever context, in whatever time, whatever place, at home, at work, among friends, among strangers, the character of the mu'min does not change. He is and she is always benefiting those who are around them and the things that are around them. They are improving them. They are a positive influence in their context. And the source of all of that is iman. The mu'min, whenever he finds an opportunity to benefit people around him, through teaching them about Islam, reminding them about Allah, helping them with their problems, relieving their stress, sharing a smile with them, whatever you find as an opportunity to do good, you will take advantage of it. Why is that the case? Because the Prophet ﷺ also said, خَيْرُ النَّاسِ أَنْفَعُهُمْ لِلنَّاسِ. The best of people is the ones that are the ones who are most beneficial to other people. So the believer who wants to be close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala realizes that a way of being close to Allah is to be helpful and to be beneficial and to be a constant source of blessing to his environment and to her context. Can this be a burden sometimes? Can it be heavy on us? Can we be positive constantly? Isn't this a burden? Well, the answer is that if we have iman, then this will be less of a burden. Because the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith the example of the mu'min, of the believer, meaning that it is because of iman that a person will be able to have that intention and to have the patience to continue in those acts so that they continue to bless everyone around them. And if that is lacking in our lives, then we have to ask ourselves, it is either our iman is not strong enough to produce these blessings around us, or that we have iman, but we are unaware that we have to have these blessings, that we have to spread these blessings as a consequence of our iman, as a fruit of our iman. So if the fruit is missing, either it is because of ignorance, because we don't know that we have to be such a source of blessing, or it's because the source of self is not strong. We don't have iman. So we should aspire to be such blessed people. Whatever opportunity you find, when you wake up in the morning, when you go to bed, whenever opportunity you find, you ask yourself and you tell yourself, I will take advantage of it because it's an opportunity that is presented to me by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So be like the bee. whenever you want to give, you give what is best and what is good. And you keep your harm and your evil to yourself. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us of those who will be successful in this pursuit. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.